February 10th, 1923, it was decided that West Texas would be the home of a new major university. And later this site and this cornerstone would first become Texas Technological College, to what is now known worldwide as Texas Tech University. Many important and sentimental things and events make up Tech's colorful 90-year history. We are in the Southwest Collection, an archive where millions of documents, artifacts, and photographs from the beginning of the university to now are housed. So come along with us as we take you on a Red Raider walk through the last 90 years.
Well, we've selected a lot of different items today to sort of document the history of Texas Tech. Many of the collections come from different donors, private individuals who were former alumni, or their parents or grandparents were alumni. And those collections often contain scrapbooks, photographs.
Let's start from the beginning, 1923, when the Texas Senate passed Senate Bill 103 that would establish Texas Tech. At the time, 30 towns in the region submitted proposal books to the Locating Board Committee, stating why this new school should be built in their town.
The guidelines that was given from the Locating Committee to possible towns that wanted Texas Tech was loose parameters. Some of the really small towns, they are only 2 or 3 pages. Then when you get to the more sophisticated towns, they're leather-bound books, they're professionally printed and bound.
In the books, the towns had to depict what their areas offered in terms of transportation, water, population, schools, and demographics.
I think part of the reason Lubbock was chosen was that it's sort of centrally located. It was very important at the time to show to everyone to rally around and show that we could actually support an institution of this size if it came here. It was the people that made the difference.
Once Tech was built and officially opened in 1925, agriculture played a major role, as it still does, in the everyday life of the university. The dairy barn, nestled between what is now the library and the English and philosophy buildings, is still one of the most beloved buildings here on the Texas Tech campus, and just recently underwent some renovations. But starting in the 1920s, students could bring their cows to school. They went around to the dorms to sell the milk as a way to pay for their education.
There was a dairy manufacturing program here as well. They sold milk regularly in wonderful glass bottles, one of which we have. The dairy barn is actually an important symbol of Texas Tech. It was a teaching facility, but it was also a way that the students could support themselves when they went to school.
A big part of Texas Tech traditions is athletics, the Red Raiders, and campus life.
In 1953, we won the Border Conference football game. 54, we won the Gator Bowl game. We have a signed football from members of the 1954 Gator Bowl game. That was also notable in that that was the first game that the Mass Rider officially rode onto the field.
The Southwest Collection has many Red Raider uniforms, but one of the most important belonged to football player Elmer Tarbox in the late 1930s.
And they wore these red and black outfits with wonderful stockings that went on them.
Sports uniforms are not all the collection has to offer in terms of athletics.
One of the most popular items that's requested in our reading rooms were our game programs for football. We digitized them. We have about 135 up online right now. We have over 7,000 recordings. They cover the football, basketball, we have some of the track, and those are also very popular as well.
Now on to one of the most recognizable organizations associated with Texas Tech, the Goin' Band from Raiderland.
Texas Tech Band actually started as well with the beginning of the school year. The band has become one of the largest in the nation. We have a long tradition in Texas for our band programs.
One of the earliest band directors was D.O. Wiley, known as the father of Texas bands. The collection has a wooden music stand from Wiley's time here in the 1930s. Now to a student tradition from years past that hasn't been practiced in 40 years. It's called a fish cap, which freshmen were required to wear their first year here. Incoming freshmen would go downtown to a department store like Hemphill Wells and buy their fish cap for $1.
The freshmen would come and they would buy these wool caps and they would decorate the caps. Their last name on the caps, they would write the dormitory that they lived in. They're hard to come by because of the wool material that they're made of. We actually have 3 that are in really good condition that we're thrilled to have.
The 3 caps in the archives, one from each the 40s, 50s, and late 60s, are favorite artifacts to see among Southwest Collection visitors. All the available artifacts not only help preserve the university's history, but also add layers to Texas Tech's story. As Texas Tech celebrates this anniversary and many more, the Southwest Collection will continue its mission of gathering and preserving this university's extensive history. This is Lacey Nobles for Texas Tech Today.